degree. And I truly believe it's not necessarily because it's higher risk. I believe it's because most people who go into these areas don't actually know what they're doing. So therefore, actually what they're doing is they're gambling, and therefore they lose more than they win. So for example, putting your money into stocks and shares, putting your money into commodities like oil, gold, or silver. Most people are gambling. Trading forex. Being a currency trader. I hear so many people say they're trading, they're forex trading, and the reality of it is they're not forex trading, they're gambling. That's just the reality of it. It takes a lot of time to learn how to be a proficient forex trader. Putting your money into digital assets, i.e., cryptocurrency, also represents an area where if you know what you're doing, then there's a tremendous amount of money that can be made there. So those individuals who go into these higher risk, quote unquote, areas are the ones that are able to generate higher returns. So higher risks generates higher returns for those who know what they're doing. So when it comes to our membership, I truly believe that there is virtually no risk associated with our membership because the individuals and the companies that are delivering 0.5% per day to you are, let's just say, very proficient at what they do, and they are at the higher end of everything that they're involved in. And I'll come on to that in more detail very, very shortly. Now, in terms of the types of people we speak to on a daily basis, they're either going to be employed, they're either going to be self-employed, or they're going to be business owners, or they're going to be investors. And I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, have seen the cash flow quadrant already. Here's what we know. The individuals on the left-hand side who are trading their time for money, generally speaking, if they are looking to become wealthy, then there is a 97% chance that they're going to fail because 97% of people tend to retire broken in debt following a strategy of exchanging their time for money in order to become wealthy. It's just a broken strategy, but it just happens to be the most oldest and archaic way of us generating an income. Business owners understand that, and that is the reason why they will put into place business systems to employ people that actually want to trade their time for money. And as a result of that, business owners are more on the path to becoming wealthy than, let's just say, those that are trading their time for money. Now, investors understand the wealth equation like no one else. They absolutely nail it. They understand that the best way to actually become wealthy is to allow your money to work harder for you than you're working harder for it. It's an absolutely simple equation. Allow your money to work harder for you than you're working harder for it. And the investor knows that. So when we share our presentation, all we are ever doing is giving individuals a choice. And that choice is quite simply, you can have your money sat in a bank somewhere, for example. And if we were to look worldwide, a bank might be typically offering anywhere between 0 and 0.1% a year on any deposits that they have. But what does that equal? Let's be positive and assume that a bank is paying you 0.1% a year. That is going to be the equivalent of you receiving £1, €1, $1 for every £1,000, euros, or dollars you have sat in your bank for an entire year. One entire year, and you're going to receive $1 for every thousand that you have sat in that bank for an entire year. When you take a look at the 0.5% per day that we are suggesting that you take advantage of, that is equivalent to you receiving 1,825 euros, pounds, or dollars for every single £1,000, euros, or dollars that you have in your own hyperfund for that very same period of time of a year. So as I always say, there is no contest between these two numbers. It's like putting a flyweight in the ring to fight a heavyweight. There's only ever going to be one winner. And as a matter of fact, if you take a look at 0.5% per day, that's going to pay you more in one day than the bank is going to pay you in an entire year. So, when I hear people say it's 0.5% per day, sounds too good to be true. What I say to them is, okay, I understand that, but I'll come back to you on that a little later. So let me just share this with you, ladies and gentlemen. Most people who have their money in their bank actually think that, their money is sat down in the bank 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, waiting for them to go and withdraw it. The reality of it is nothing could be further from the truth. What the banks do is they put into place what's called OPM, other people's money. So when money goes into the bank, wherever that comes from, individuals' wages, etc., 90%, if not more, will quickly go out the other side. And the reason why that happens so quickly is because the banks will quickly provide businesses or individuals with either mortgages, business loans, overdrafts, etc., so that they can generate anywhere between 30 and 45% daily. 30 to 45% daily. And they're doing that based upon your money, our money. So when individuals say to us, 0.5% per day sounds too good to be true, then we basically simply say two things. Number one is, let's take a look at what the banks are doing. Does that look too good to be true or sound too good to be true? Because the banks have evidence of this. They have large buildings in the city, and they have profit and loss statements in the billions every single year, whilst you're receiving £1 or euro or dollar for every single £1,000, euros or dollars you have sat in your bank for an entire year. But the other thing is what we say with a smile on our faces, if you have been kissing frogs all your life, and then all of a sudden a prince or princess turns up, then the likelihood is they're going to look too good to be true also. So we can't speak to what it is that you're used to seeing or have been concentrating on all your life, looking left all the time, when as a matter of fact, on the right-hand side, something amazing has been going on. So the conversation we're having with you about having the ability to receive 0.5% per day is happening, regardless of what anyone may consider looking too good to be true. Since November of 2019, our membership base has been receiving 0.5% per day on the value of their membership. And all they are doing to receive that, and all you would need to do to receive that, is to become a member of the Hyper community and allow yourselves to, enjoy the services that are going to be provided to you by the Hypertech Group. So what we're going to do is to play a short video, and I'm not sure how that's going to translate, but we're going to play a short video, 4 minutes in duration. And what it's going to do is essentially just introduce you to the Hypertech Group and what they're doing with blockchain technology and what their intentions are. And then once we're finished, I will come back on the other end and just basically, fill in all the gaps and make sure you understand fully, why it is that I can say to you today, humbly, that I started in July of last year and I've gone from 0 to in excess of 5,000 a day as a result of this membership and sharing it with people I know, love, and trust. So I'm going to share the video with you and just make sure that we can share with the quality that we need. And enjoy the video. I will be back in 4 minutes time.
Hypertech Group is a diversified blockchain services enterprise that utilizes blockchain technology to build a comprehensive, one-stop integrated digital supply chain. With an existing strong technological foundation, the group brings together the resources of its network of listed companies and more than 300 investment institutions and seeks to make positive contributions to the world via the development of the industry. With the mission of contributing to the world through technological breakthroughs, Hypertech Group has made major strides in driving blockchain innovation in many areas. Since inception, Hypertech Group has remained faithful to its founding mission, expanding steadily in line with its established ecological layout. In just a few short years, Hypertech has grown to become one of the top leaders within the industry. To cope with changing market conditions while staying in line with its long-term goals, the group is proud to launch Hyperfund Ogilvy Project, a development plan to build a DeFi, decentralized finance ecosystem that will provide a multifaceted, distributed financial infrastructure for all digital currency users. Hyperfund will invest in the incubation of more high-quality projects under Hypertech Group, leading the strategic direction of its financial technology arm, and is committed to make more practical contributions to the blockchain industry. At Hypertech Group, we are firm believers that blockchain can change the world. It can improve our daily lives in almost all aspects, increase efficiency, and reduce the cost of trust. Therefore, blockchain technology should not just be limited to financial applications. With our resources, technical prowess, and strong strategic partnerships, Hypertech Group will build a comprehensive hyper ecosystem and successfully develop products and services that utilizes blockchain technology and infrastructure at their core. These include HyperBC, HyperPay, HyperFin, HPX, HyperMining, HyperTalk, HyperNews, HyperMall, and HyperShow. These products will open up a range of DeFi applications for members that encompass digital currency custodian services, wealth management, digital currency wallets, decentralized exchanges, blockchain interoperability, public and private chains, as well as social and media information platforms. Hyper Ecosystem, building on the foundation of Hyperfund, will establish an effective decentralized governance structure, breaking the operational barriers of each platform, and will promote the integration and development of the whole ecosystem. The strongest ecosystem cannot survive without the support of its members, just like how ideas are not realized without execution. Hypertech Group therefore strives to build a global community, setting the stage for mass adoption. At present, projects within the Hyper ecosystem have already carried out in-depth cooperation with more than 100 communities, with more communities in line to join and benefit from its holistic suite of DeFi products and services. The group will move towards the aggregation of the blockchain industry and build a strong and mighty community through the integration of the group's entire ecological layout. Time passes, but Hypertech Group's resolute has never changed. Let us work hard, and together we will build the world's strongest blockchain alliance.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as I always like to say at the end of that video, the key words that are said right at the end that sums up the vision, very, very crystal clear, is let's work together to create the world's strongest blockchain alliance. And the word alliance suggests or more partners. So what we're going to do is to go through what is the vision of the company, what are they doing now, who are they, why are they doing what they're doing, and most importantly, what's in it for you. So just as a reminder as to the what's in it for you, I think you just need to remind yourself that, on the table is your ability to receive 0.5% per day, every single day, 7 days a week, tick tock, as I like to say. Having the ability to enjoy 15% per month, having the ability to double your rewards within 13 months and also triple your rewards within a 19-month period. And once again, I'm going to share a strategy with you where you have the ability to literally 13x a $10,000 membership. And I'll show you how that works with a spreadsheet a little later. So in terms of the vision of the company, the easiest way for me to explain this to you is to say the company is building 9 different businesses, all based around blockchain technology, all in areas of industry that's massively trending. So for example, everyone is familiar with Amazon Prime or Netflix. These are live streaming type businesses. HyperShow will be our version of that. Those industries are valued at well in excess of $40 billion, growing at a rate of 20% per annum, and is forecasted to do so at least until 2027. And we are just on the verge of launching our own HyperMao. The company itself loves the education side of blockchain, so they are building Mars academies around the world. And the idea is that individuals will have the ability to literally just drop into these blockchain centers and learn about blockchain technology for free. There are 16 already in place. The plan is to have 300 at the end. So in terms of what the company is doing now, the community building side started in November of 2019. They made a decision that whilst they're building their businesses around blockchain technology, they would at the same time build the community as well. That started in November of 2019. The companies themselves have been around since 2014, 2015. And as a result of that community building initiative, that is what is giving us a significant financial opportunity. And that is for both passive and also active members. So what is a passive member? A passive member is a member who simply enjoys their 0.5% per day and doesn't wish to share with anyone else. And that's totally fine. There's no obligation for us to share this. However, as an active member, you are what's now called a community builder, like I am. And I basically will share with individuals that I know because I personally believe it's a good idea for my friends and my family to be in a situation where they can also benefit from 0.5% per day and also the other services that the company will be launching. So we have an opportunity, as we have seen today, that's immediately worldwide in its potential. So let's talk about who is behind this company. The best way I can explain this to you is just to say, for anyone that has been keeping an eye on how Bitcoin has performed over the last couple of years, you may remember when Bitcoin hit $150 back in 2014. What you may not know is that the infrastructure called the blockchain was in jeopardy. There were a lot of mining companies that formed the infrastructure called the blockchain going out of business. The numbers for our company didn't make any sense to stay in that business. However, their vision and their dedication to blockchain technology is what they decided to keep what's called the hash power going on the blockchain. So they decided to keep the hash power going on the blockchain. And as a result of that, we today are still able to talk about Bitcoin and also blockchain technology. So this company has an enviable track record, no question. They have interest and equity in 40 different cryptocurrency exchanges around the world. They are a 3% owner of Binance, which is the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. And they've also launched 4 of their own cryptocurrencies into the open marketplace, all of which can be validated on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko as being traded, in the open marketplace. The gentleman you see on your screen is Ryan Zhu. He is the head of the Hypertech Group. And what I love about this particular gentleman is when I listen to him, is he has a social conscience. And you can hear more from him and also the company in a series on Amazon Prime called The Next Blockchain, The Next Blockchain, The Next Blockchain, speaking to individuals and companies that are forming and are leaders in the blockchain space. So when I say to you that you are going to be partnering with an alliance with over 25 years of combined experience, and that's also been operational for over half the lifetime of blockchain and cryptocurrency, which is way more than a lot of pretenders that have come before us, offering opportunities that may have seemed similar to this, but never had any substance behind the curtain. So the question as to why are they incentivizing us to be present? Well, the answer is essentially just that. They are incentivizing us to be present so that, they can achieve the longer term vision of building the world's largest blockchain alliance. And so therefore, what they need to do that are loyal users of their products and services. And the key word there being loyal. So their strategy is to incentivize us to be present, and therefore the 0.5% per day, opportunity, if you like, is a very, very attractive proposition. And therefore, the goal is to, essentially turn our presence into, users. So we become users of the multiple products and services that they already have. I myself am a user of 2 of their services already, the Hyperpay app and also the Hyperpay card, which I'll speak to you about a little later. Now, when it comes to the what's in it for you, this is really the point where I'm just going to clarify what it is that you're actually doing, and then I'll go into the detail of the membership a few slides on. When you become a member, it's very important for you to remember that you are not actually investing in the Hyper community. You are not investing in any particular cryptocurrency or token or altcoin. You are simply becoming a member of the Hyper community. And as a result of becoming a member, you are exchanging your money for a membership. And you are exchanging your money for the membership that has 3 benefits attached to it. And again, I'll go into these in more detail as go on. But the reality of it is, it's very important to know that your action of exchanging your money for your membership is not one of investing, but purchasing a product. And we'll go into the mechanics of that a little later. Now, the question that always comes up, whether it comes up verbally or someone is just thinking about it, is where is the company getting the money to pay its members 0.5% per day? So what I'm going to do is just share with you the revenue streams that the company already have in place. They are not reliant on us to be present to make them more financially successful. They do not need our money. This is a company that's been mining since 2009. And if you know anything about mining Bitcoin, you will know that individuals have become crypto billionaires just through mining alone. and our founders are crypto billionaires. So the reality of it is that where the company makes its money typically are in areas where most people have, let's just say, no knowledge at all. So I'm going to go through some of those and just let you know these are some of the areas where the company makes money. So let's talk about DeFi incubation. DeFi incubation is quite simply angel investing into new and innovative blockchain projects. And as those projects like NEM and Tron become more successful, currently now valued at billions, the company is able to share in the profits of those companies. No different, for example, to Alan Sugar putting in 250,000 into his apprentice's new business. As those businesses become more successful, Alan Sugar makes more money. It's simple, but just in the blockchain space. That's DeFi incubation. Now, when it comes to the hyper mining side, companies that have the ability to solve cryptographic puzzles on the blockchain that help to validate transactions on the blockchain, typically using thousands of supercomputers to do so, typically located in large warehouses around the world, pretty much in remote locations around the world, where electricity happens to be cheap, then that would be, a company performing the role of a miner. And mining companies, when they help to validate a transaction, they get rewarded with newly minted Bitcoin. Our company owns one of the largest mining companies in the world. They bought out BWAN Group for 200 million cash back in 2017. And we also provide hardware to the mining industry. So that's another area where we make money. Mining is a 24/7 operation. Now, when it comes to market making, this is an area that I understand very well as a currency trader. Imagine you having access to 40 different cryptocurrency exchanges on any given day and having the ability to trade any cryptocurrency or currencies on any given day. And if you have the ability to go into the marketplace and place large orders above the market price or below the market price to move prices in the direction of your choosing, then that would be you performing the role of a market maker, not as a normal retail trader who actually don't know what's going on and have no influence over what's happening in the marketplace. As a market maker, you have influence on price. Our company has been executing a strategy since 2017 that's enabled them to deliver in excess of 55% per month. Now, when it comes to the exchanges that the company has access to and equity in, there are billions of transactions taking place on those exchanges every single day. And if you imagine that the company has the ability to make a small percentage on each of those transactions, anywhere between $1 and $15 to $20, billions of transactions every day, that allows the company to generate millions in daily fees alone. So the company's ability to pay you 0.5% per day, every single day, is all based around their expertise and understanding of blockchain technology and the different areas of business where they are generating existing revenue. Understand this, the company doesn't need our money, but they do need our presence. So your ability to receive 0.5% per day, every single day, 7 days a week, tick tock, having the ability to receive 15% per month on your money, having the ability to double and treble your money within 13 and 19 months, and even the strategy to be able to 13x your money, over the period of 12 months is all happening because of the company's expertise in blockchain. So this is what the company looks like behind the curtain, a company of substance, I will say. 3 different companies that make up the Hypertech group: Colin Star Capital, Blockchain Global, Hcash Foundation. Here we are, the Hyper community, and we have a strategic partnership effectively with Colin Star Capital. So effectively, we have a dotted line responsibility to Colin Star Capital. So our service agreement is effectively with Colin Star Capital. Here are the exchanges that the company refers to, 40 different cryptocurrency exchanges. And here are 4 of the cryptocurrencies that they have launched into the open marketplace, all of which can be independently validated on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, and all of these also have white papers, again, for those of you that are more crypto savvy than most. Now, the technology itself, blockchain, is not owned by the Hypertech group. It is just a pervasive technology that, let's just say, is going to disrupt multiple industries around the world, no question about it. And the area of industry that this company is focused in on is the banking industry, DeFi, DEFI, the decentralization of finance. And that is essentially what is representing the greatest shift of wealth of our entire generation. And once again, all we have to do to tap into that, or one of the ways to tap into that revenue stream, is by becoming a member of the Hyper community. So we always ask at this point, what would it be like for you to be part of an alliance that is run by the top blockchain futurists in the world? These are individuals and organizations that are consulted by governments and large institutions around their thought leadership around blockchain technology. So it's at this point in the presentation where we get to do the easiest bit, which is explaining to you the benefits of being a member. So this is the easiest part. So, here we go. When you become a member of the Hyper community, what the company would normally do is to essentially double the value of your membership. So you join at, let's just say, $500, and the company will basically have you down to receive 2 times that amount. They're going to pay you out at the rate of 0.5% per day minimum on the value of your membership. So that's essentially how that would work. That's what's called a 1 in, 2 out situation. However, the company is currently, at least until the end of April, is running a 1 in, 3 out situation. And what that simply means is that any member who joins before the end of April will see that the value of their membership that they join at is literally tripled. So if you, for example, if you join at, let's just say, $1,000, the company has you down to receive 3,000. If you join at 2,000, 6,000. If you join at, say, 10,000, the company has you down for 30,000. So it doesn't really matter what level you join at. There is no limit to, the level of membership you can join at. The minimum allowed team is 500 HUs. 500 HU is the equivalent of $500 in value. And as you can see on your screen, we have what we call the best minimum, for example, at 2,000. We have the 10K club, which is really where our focus is as an abundance group. So someone join at 10,000, for example, will receive 50 a day, and they will receive that until they have been paid 30,000. Individuals are joining at the business level of 50,000. We have individuals also joining at what's called the Millionaire partnership level. These are individuals that want to see a short-term window to be able to, let's just say, build up an $80,000 membership to having $1 million available, and then accessing that $1 million over a period of 14 months. So they take 12 months to build up to that $1 million, and then basically 14 months to draw down on that $1 million. It's a 26-month strategy, and again, I'll cover that very shortly. And then you have the corporate level. The corporate level basically is at 250,000. And once again, all the numbers that you may think of will simply be tripled. And again, I'll go through a live example of how that is working. So there's lots of numbers going around, but the reality is, simplified version is you are in a position now, understanding what we're doing, to receive 0.5% per day on the value of your membership every single day, 7 days a week. Tick tock, tick tock. That gives you the opportunity to enjoy 15% per month. That gives you the opportunity to double your rewards within 13, and it also gives you the opportunity to triple your rewards within 19 months as well. It's absolutely amazing what is going on. Now, a couple of things we need to be aware of. Number one, everyone wants to know, can I withdraw? Am I able to withdraw my money? Am I able to convert my rewards and have that money going into my bank account? And the answer is an absolute yes. We have individuals who are buying pizzas right through to Range Rover Velas, and for the more flamboyant, now basically preparing to buy yachts and Lamborghinis. So it's a broad spectrum of individuals that are withdrawing their rewards and spending it in the way that they choose to. Before we can withdraw, though, we have to have at least $50 of value, represented as what we call HUs, before we can access and draw any rewards off of our Hyperfund platform. And I'll go through that with you shortly. There is also a mechanism by which you can increase the value of the membership that you have, and also the amount that the company will pay you ultimately by doing a process called rebuying, and I'll demonstrate that to you as well, and why many of our members are doing that. So the summary really is, and the call to action would be for anyone to join the community. I always say it is good over here. It is good over here. And I say that because of the experience that not only I am having, but the community at large, worldwide. We heard from a young lady today. She sent a testimonial to the group out of Lesotho in Africa. Their wage is somewhere between $50 and $100 a month, and she is now doing 50 a day, and cannot express just how grateful and happy she is to be in a situation where the Hyperfund is delivering that to her. Imagine the difference that's making to her in that region of the world. Okay. So the reality of it is that we do have fun over here. We do encourage individuals to enjoy their rewards. It's very intoxicating. It can be to see your numbers going up, your numbers going up, your numbers going up. But we do encourage our members to ensure that they are able to enjoy their rewards. So every now and then, draw down your money and treat yourself, or, make sure you're clear about what it is that you want to do with your rewards. So when it comes to money, we have to make sure that we have two options available to us. So we train you to be able to, one, be able to convert your rewards and have your money sent to your bank account. So we do training every Saturday in our group, and there's also a wider training to the entire community, also on Saturday morning and also on a Sunday afternoon as well. So strategy number one, or route number one, is where your money goes back into your bank account. Route number two is where you actually allow your money to be sent to your HyperPay card. So this HyperPay card is a Visa or MasterCard prepaid debit card. So imagine converting your rewards into the crypto that we get paid in, but being able to send crypto across to this debit card and have your money being stored there. And then being able to go on Amazon or go into Tesco and do shopping or buy online, and the conversion between crypto and your local currency is done by the card. So we have the ability with that card to spend in over 176 countries around the world, and have the ability, quite amazingly, to spend up to 50,000 a day. It's quite amazing what's going on. So very, very quickly, just want to let you know this is real. So I'm just going to quickly just play a 60-second video. It's literally 60 seconds, just to let everyone know that, this is real, what's going on. So if I could only just find my mouse, and just going to share it so you can hear the sound at least. And then here we go. Okay, ladies and gents, I always like to play that just to, let everyone know there's no gimmicks here. It's all real stuff that's going on. Real people, real results, as I always like to say. This particular slide is really all about letting you know what's happening for individuals in our community. I know people personally that are now paying their mortgage as a result of being a part of the community for, joining in August of last year, now in a situation where they're enjoying 10,000 a month as a result of not only their own membership, but also sharing. Individuals like myself who are accelerating the rate at which we are saving for a deposit for a new home. Individuals who have set their grandchildren up now with little, mini hyper funds. Individuals who are generating 100 a day is extremely, extremely typical here. Individuals who are now clearing debts. We have the ability to help businesses. I'll cover that shortly. Individuals also being able to develop a strong income pot for themselves. And again, as part of the session, I'm going to show you a strategy to go from 10,000 to 132 literally within a year. So very quickly, if you know anyone in business, we can actually help them, because there's many businesses now that are struggling to get customers through the door. So what we can actually do is to generate what's called a free funding projection for them, where we just get to understand what are their fixed costs and what level of membership would we need to have in order to cover those fixed costs for anywhere between 16 and 20 months, to give them some breathing room, for their business to be able to potentially get back on their feet. So we're able to do that. The Millionaire Partnership level is very attractive to those that have the resources to be able to join at that level. And as I'm going to show you shortly, they'll have a strategy to be able to build up to 1 million from that 80,000, 13x in their money. And then once they've 13x'd it, then they have the ability to draw down until they have fully liquidated that million. And it takes 14 months to do that. So 26-month strategy we can share with individuals that allow them to be liquid with 1 million in 26 months. So, that is on the table. So what I'm going to do now is quickly go into a live membership area just to show you the mechanics of what is going on for some of our members. So I'm going to go into this member here. This is a live business owner, and he joined us back in August of last year. This is a gentleman that, let's just say, doesn't need the money straight away. So his decision to become a member was predicated on simply coming in and doing what we call rebuys. And a rebuy allows us to add to the value of our membership and increase what the company is due to pay us. So I'm going to take a look at his purchase packages, and we're just going to verify when did this member start. So I'm going to go down to his start date of the 7th of August last year. He joined us at 10,000, which at the time, 3 times promotion going on. So he is due to receive 30,000 on his 10,000 membership. So far, the company has paid him 12,200. There's 17,800 to be paid. Every day, though, he is receiving 50. So at the start, he was receiving 50 a day. Each time he received 50, rather than saving it up to withdraw, he has basically been doing this thing called a rebuy. What that basically is doing for him is just adding to the value of his membership every day. But it's also, you'll notice that the 150 you see here is 3 times the 50. So he's been doing that every day pretty much. So much so that now the value of his membership has increased, and so has the amount that the company is due to pay him. So remember, when he started, the company was due to pay him 30,000. The company is now due to pay him 76. And when he started, the value of his membership was 10,000. The value of his membership is now 33,250, which means tomorrow he will receive 0.5 on this higher number, round about $165 in value, which is more than the $50 in value he started off with. So let me share with you what he does every day. So we're going to go into the Purchase Hyperdrive membership. We are going to check through the rebuy how much he has to be able to do a rebuy. And we can see that there is $370 of value to be able to do our rebuys. We can only do rebuys in multiples of 50. So therefore, we are going to do the maximum we can do, 7 times 50. So we're going to add 350 to the value of his membership, but we're also going to add 1,050 to what the company is due to pay him. So I'm going to submit that. I'm going to confirm the purchase. I'm just going to pause the share so we don't share confidential information. And then what will happen is you should now be able to see that we have successfully purchased a new membership effectively, added to what he already has. Let's go into this, view purchase membership, and let's take a look at what has now happened. So once this refreshes, you can see that we have purchased a 350 membership, and essentially that is generating new rewards to him. So he now has rewards due to him of 1,050 on that 350 membership. Let's verify that. So we're going to go out. We're going to remind ourselves that this was what the company is due to pay him. We're going to refresh our screen, and we're going to see what the difference is now based upon the fact that he's just done a rebuy. The company is now due to pay him more. What's also happened is if we go back into market, the company is, the value of his membership is now increased. So tomorrow he will receive 0.5 on 33,600 of membership. That will be exactly 168 actually. So tomorrow he will receive 168 when he started off at 50, and he will receive, if he stopped doing anything now and allowed himself to be paid out, he's now due to receive 77 as opposed to the 30 he originally started off with. The final piece, just to demonstrate this really quickly, and then we'll hand over to Brother Akeem, is this spreadsheet basically allows us to demonstrate the power of the membership and also the rebuy for those that choose to follow that strategy. It's not a strategy you have to follow. So let's just take a look at this. Let's just imagine that this 500 represents the value of a membership somebody starts off with. This number of 50 represents the minimum that you must have available before you are able to take action to withdraw. It's also the minimum multiple that you're able to do rebuys with. So if we take a look at this column, that is essentially a rebuy column. Every time you see a number in green, it means you actually have the ability to do one of three things. You can leave your rewards to accumulate to more. You can withdraw your rewards because you have met the minimum criteria of 50, or you can do a rebuy. If you do a rebuy, then as we've seen before, you are increasing the value of the membership that you have, and you are also increasing the amount the company will pay you overall. In this example, though, you have to wait 20 days before you can do that rebuy. If we say, for example, go to the best minimum of 2,000, you can immediately see that we can no longer just do a withdrawal or a rebuy in a 1 month period. We now have 6 opportunities within the month to be able to do rebuys, i.e. at least once a week. When individuals join us at the magic number of 10,000, they are able to do rebuys or withdrawals every single day. We call that being in flow, where the member is in full control of their rewards to be able to decide on any given day, do I rebuy today, or do I withdraw today, or do I leave to withdraw or rebuy later? So they are in full control every day. Let's take a look at the secondary benefit though. If a member is joined at that level, 10,000, then this column here represents what the company is due to pay them. We start off with 10,000 and the company due to pay 30,000. If a member rebuys for an entire year, 365 days, on the assumption that the company keeps 3x throughout that process, then this number here of 132,000 represents what the company is now due to pay them. They cannot go to the company and say, can I have that 132? We are all paid on a daily basis. That keeps everything sustainable. At that point, though, the value of that member's membership will be 61,000, just over. And the daily rewards will be 306 a day, 9,000 a month. So if the member is happy with this 132, they can stop rebuying and allow the system to pay them 300 a day, approximately 9,000 a month, until they've been fully paid out 132. So again, this is 12 months to build up to this number and 14 months to draw it down. Last thing we'll talk about is the millionaire partnership level, and then we'll take some questions. 80,000 is our millionaire partnership level. And again, it's a 13x in strategy. We can rebuy every day. We're in flow. And as you can see, we go from 240 being owed to you to the company basically now having you down to receive just over $1 million. Once you're at that point, the value of your membership is just under 500,000. The amount that you will receive on a daily basis is going to be just over 2,400 or 73,000 a month. Remember, you cannot ask for that million upfront. You have to receive it either on a daily basis, weekly basis, or a monthly basis. You draw down at your leisure because every day you are meeting the minimum criteria of there being 50 or more available. So this is a strategy, 26 months, 12 months to build up to this million. On the proviso, the company keeps 3 times throughout. And then once you're there, you can choose to stop rebuying and allow yourself just to receive your rewards and then basically totally consume the million. So one can be liquid with a million literally within a 26-month time frame if they have the resource to begin at this number. So overall, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very powerful opportunity that someone has. And there are many members who are taking advantage of it in many different ways. So at this point, what we can do is I'll cover off some of the basic questions that we get asked. So one of the major questions that we get asked is, for example, is what we're doing regulated? So that's always a question that we get asked. Is what we're doing regulated? Who guarantees our money? So the reality of it is that you are buying a membership and you are not investing. You're not buying a financial derivative. So therefore, there is no FCA, FCC, or whatever a financial ombudsman may be in place in your particular jurisdiction. So we are in an unregulated area typically for blockchain technology, and the membership that you are purchasing is not a financial based product. Another question we get asked is, can I add to the value of my membership at any time? And the answer is simply, yes, you can. Another question we get asked is, where is the company based? So the company is based out of Hong Kong, and we are primarily based in the Australasia region. So we are based in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Australia. And so if you were to go to Blockchain Global, for example, you will basically see a whole list of different locations where the company has a presence. So that's very important. So that's a question that we always get asked as well. What does, for example, HU, so some individuals see the HU on our screen. HU stands for a hyper unit, and the hyper unit has a 1-for-1 dollar relationship with the dollar. So HU has the equivalent value of a dollar. The other question we get asked is, can I withdraw my money? The answer is absolutely yes, provided you have 50 of rewards available to you on this line in your membership, you are able to go through the process we train you to, where you can transfer, exchange, and then ultimately withdraw. Another question we get asked is, are there withdrawal fees? Yes, there are withdrawal fees. When you come off of our platform, there is a $3 withdrawal fee that is down to the Hyperfund, but the Ethereum network has a toll fee of its own, and it will charge a fee, and we will always know what that is by multiplying this number here by this number here. So my maths is decent, so I know that's $12.90, and therefore I know that this. If I were to withdraw today, this would cost me about $12.90, because MOF is this currency, and this is the price in relation to the dollar. So when I multiply this number by this number, I get the rate at which it's going to charge me a flat fee to withdraw. So that's just approximately $30. If I'm drawing off $100, I may be okay with that. If I'm drawing off 1,000, I'm not fussed at all. So there are fees to withdraw. The process of withdrawal back to your bank account requires you to come off this platform and go to a converting platform, typically who.com. And then once we've converted to our currency that we get paid in to the crypto dollar, then we're able to go back to a cryptocurrency exchange to put money back into our bank account. So everyone is trained on how to do this. For some, this is new. For some, this is not so new. But the reality of it is what's very comforting to know is that individuals have the opportunity to do what they want with their rewards, and everything is legal, above board. No pyramid scheme, no Ponzi's here, and I'll just close with this. Our company owns 3% of Binance, which is the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. 3%. In the last 24 hours, Binance has done 45 billion of transactions. 45 billion of transactions. Huobi, another exchange we have equity in, has done 14 billion of transactions. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I hand over to Brother Akeem, I submit to you that what you are seeing here is live, real, is having an amazing impact. And I'm sure you're going to hear from another individual who can testify to that apart from myself. I am now in a situation where, you know, things are different now. And I'm really looking forward to things being different for more people that I know, love, and trust, and directly and indirectly. And I'm pleased to be able to be liaising and speaking to Brother Akeem on a regular basis. And I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen for him and also all of you who choose to take full advantage of this. So with that, Brother Akeem, I'm going to hand back to you, sir, and look forward to any questions that we may have.
Fantastic. Well, let us show our love and appreciation to our brother, Clayton Ford. Let's give him a big Zoom virtual, well-deserved round of applause. And
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the information. Great presentation. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Awesome presentation.
Yes. Now remember, he usually does that in half the time, but we asked him to slow down for the French translation, remember? So Clayton, are you still on?
Absolutely, 100%. I'm not going anywhere.
Now, my head was pretty much, stuck when you said, now you're making and drawing down 5K a day. Just explain again, how long have you been in this business and what is that 5K based upon as an initial investment?
So I joined in July. I joined exactly on July 5th of last year. And, I joined at the beginning. I came in, it's pretty small, nothing major, 2000, let's just say. But our skin in the game was more like 40, right? So, because I got business partners, we came in quite heavy from the outset. So we came in between us at 40,000. I'm being totally transparent. Not want to scare everybody. You don't have to start at 40,000, but that's what we decided, right? However, the reason why I'm now doing this, and I'm just gonna verify this because it's one thing talking, and I'm just gonna, we are okay being an abundance-based group to talk about money. So I'm gonna log into my own account and just give you the summary of what's happened since then. So I was very clear from the outset that I wanted to share this with people that I know, love, and trust. Once I'd done my due diligence, I was happy to go to people that I know, love, and trust. And again, there's a gentleman that potentially will be on who can verify this. So this is what's happening. So this page here tells me what is going on across the business. So if I look at total sales here, it tells me that between myself and my team, we have delivered 10.36 million of value, membership value to the Hyper community. 10.36 million since July. This young lady here, live person, she now does around about 2,900 a day, and she has delivered 3.84 million of that 10. So she's doing about 2,900 a day. So far, this number here, 265, plus this number here is about 404, plus this number here is about 31. So that's about, let's just say $440,000 has been paid to me so far since July of last year. What's interesting though is that today, so I can't show you the number that came in today because typically these numbers go to zero at 5 p.m. UK time, which is midnight Hong Kong time. But what I can show you, because I haven't done anything with it today, is that this was the amount that came in today. So this is the amount.
5,100.
This is 5,100. Yes, a little bit more than when we last spoke, Brother Akeem.
Yeah.
So each day this is going up, and this is net. So what happens is, I have today generated more than 6,000, but 5,000 of that has been added to my rewards line so I can do with what I choose. But there's been a percentage of that, 20% of that has been added to this account called a certified account. What I'm going to be able to use that for is when the company has a new project, it's launching into the cryptocurrency space, it will give me the opportunity to buy into those new projects if I want to. So I now have just under $84,000 of value that I can use to do that. The company is also just about to launch its very own hyper mall, so we can do e-commerce, buy from our own shopping mall. That's just about to be launched, and we have been told that we're going to be able to use our certified account to also buy on our own shopping mall. Very clever system these guys have put together. So the reality of it is that as you see these rewards here, this will be there again tomorrow. I will do, I will do a rebuy with this before the days close out, because I want to build up this number here to a certain amount, and then I'm going to start drawing down. So I'm going to get this to about 150, and then I'm going to draw down until that goes to 25. I'm going to take that off the Hyperfund platform, and I'm going to put it onto my own cryptocurrency platform. And again, being totally transparent, I've been doing that for a little while. And whilst you may not be able to see the detail of this, being a currency trader, I have about nearly 600,000 of orders waiting to be liquidated once price gets to a certain level on the cryptocurrency that we get paid in. So not only am I drawing down my rewards, but putting on my trading hat, I am using our cryptocurrency that we get paid in, and I believe that there is a significant upside potential to it. So I'm holding on to a certain number of those as well. However, when it hits a certain price, I'm liquidating, because there is a something that myself and my fiance wants to do, i.e. buy a much bigger home and preferably pay for that cash. That's really what we'd love to be able to do. So that's the plan that we're following. But the reality of it is that these numbers are my numbers, and these numbers aren't uncommon. So when you decide to become a member, you may decide to be passive, so therefore you wouldn't see numbers like this going on because it's just yourself. However, if you decide to embrace what's on the table, I don't see myself as anyone special, but what I am is I'm focused and I'm consistent. So if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And, I set a goal for myself and my family to achieve a position called VIP 5-star in 9 months. And we achieved it just 10 days shy of 9 months, because we knew it was a 5,000 a day entry. And so said, so done. So I've been VIP 5-star for a couple of weeks now, still getting used to it. But the reality of it is that now that I'm here and I know what it really feels like, it's one thing to see someone else doing it, but to know yourself, now I have to work with even more passion with, Brother Akeem, because I want to see Brother Akeem by the end of this year doing this number and above. And there's other individuals that I want to see doing this number and above, because when we're doing these numbers, I can have a conversation around the table with Brother Akeem and others and say, okay, fine, we got 5,000 a day coming in. That's 150,000 a month. So at the end of the month, we've got some money to play with, and there's live projects that we may be able to participate in, difference we can make financially, and so on. So it moves from being a conversation to us actually having our own small economic base that we can start to move on from. And obviously, I know Brother King, is fully on board with that thinking, and I know he shares that philosophy with you, in different days maybe, but we're all on the same page in that respect. There's a much bigger frame to what's going on here. As I say to my team outside of this presentation, lock in your wealth and your generational wealth within the next 24 months using this vehicle. Not to say that this vehicle is going to disappear. I just want people to be a little bit more urgent about the time value of money. If you have an opportunity to cement a legacy in 24 months, why wait 24 years? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So we've got this immense vehicle positioned in the greatest shift of wealth of our entire generation, using a technology that is here to stay. And it's just phenomenal. So very excited about what's available to you if you allow yourself to have it. And that's really what it comes down to. So I just wanted to share that with you. This isn't a Clayton Ford show. It's just to say this is what's possible for anyone. There are individuals that I know personally who are doing $1 million a month, $1 million a month. But I'm happy with my 150,000 at the moment. But it's nice to know I've got brothers who are doing that.
Nowhere, Mr. Ford. It will get you nowhere. Because far from a modest presentation. It was exceedingly flamboyant.
We've got to know what's possible, man.
Absolutely. So before I go to questions, I want to pivot down to Pempanzi and to Eat of Eden and to the great entrepreneur known as Basil Link, who introduced me to this whole concept of the hyperfund. So a big shout out to you, Basil, and I'd like you to give us your testimony of the veracity of this great opportunity that Brother Clayton just presented to us over the last 40 minutes.
Good evening, sir, and good evening, brothers and sisters all on this call. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Basil Links. I'm a businessman. I've been in business I'm 55. I've been in business from the age of about 16. So my scope of business ranges from real estate to retail to hospitality. I've now added blockchain and crypto to that portfolio. Yeah. Now I have a business called Pempamzi, which is a health business. We have 4 branches across London, an additional treatment room, which is part of the Pempamzi group, which is in Stockholm, which makes 5 branches. My other business is called Eat of Eden, which is a vegan restaurant business. We're now up to 6 branches. So in total, across London, in total, that's 11 outlets. As a group, I turn over just over £400,000 a month, employing 150 staff members. And we have probably another 4 or 5 branches due to open up between now and the end of the year. In terms of my real estate business, that's my Eat of Eden brand. Yeah. In terms of my real estate business, as I said, I've been buying property from the early 80s. I own property across the world, Africa, the Caribbean, London, almost 20 properties. Yeah. So I've got properties in Clapham, in Brixton, in Streatham, in Norwood, Crystal Palace. So I work 7 days a week. Yeah. I'm at one of my shops right now. Yeah. And I'm not the sort of guy that has time for anything that is a waste of time. If it doesn't make money in business, for me, it doesn't make sense. And I'm too old to waste time on backing horses that run backwards. So interestingly enough, I've known Clayton for probably 25 years. Yeah. I know him to be a man of integrity. I know him to be a straightforward, honest individual. And as far as I'm concerned, with a personal wealth of in excess of £10 million, my reputation and my name means more to me than any amount of money, because I walk through Brixton every day. I'm in my shops or my restaurants on a daily basis, and I would never, ever endorse or put my name to anything, regardless of the rewards, if I wasn't convinced that it was bona fide. Now, interestingly enough, if you'd asked me a year ago, what's a blockchain? I would have said, a block what? No. I've heard about Bitcoin. Everyone's heard about Bitcoin in the past. I didn't own any crypto. I didn't invest in crypto. I knew nothing about crypto. But I did get a phone call in July from Clayton, who told me about the opportunity. And basically, I listened because of who it was that brought the opportunity to me. He came to my shop. He gave me a presentation. It was just the two of us. He kind of outlined it. Now, you know, I listened to for about 5 minutes. Yeah, and I heard enough. I said, okay, this is what we're going to do, Clayton. I'm busy. It sounds good. I'll transfer £5,000 to you. Set it up for me. Put it in my name, and let's see what happens. And that was a decision made. I could test the theory with £5,000. I didn't even set up an account. I transferred the money to his personal account and trusted him enough to open the account on my behalf and invest the money. And that was the end of the story. I moved on. Now, I then invited, maybe about a week or so later, and every so often he would send me a little WhatsApp showing me how much the value of my investment was in terms of the pending rewards. But he was sort of doing the rebuyers for me. So when I saw the number going up, and after a few weeks, couple of weeks, I thought, you know what, this is a great opportunity. I think I'm going to share this with some friends. So I gathered a handful of friends. We met in an office from one of my business associates, and he did a presentation. As a result of that, about half a dozen people decided to join, and they all joined. Most of them joined at the 10K level. I think, if not all of them, joined at the 10K level, which meant that I'd signed up within, under my number one position, about half a dozen people. So I decided that I would also increase that 5K to 10K and signed up again. But this time I split my 10 grand, because I put 5 below my first 5. So I understood that if you introduce the opportunity to someone and they decide to take out a membership, that you get effectively an override based on the amount that they invest. So that's the reason why I signed up below myself, so that I would enjoy the first level of override under my number one position. Subsequent to that, I've shared the opportunity with probably about another 15, 20 people. And, you know, I've been watching my account, and I've been watching the progress within my account. Now, fast forward, what are we now? We're around about 8-9 months now. Yeah. And the value of my membership is now in the region of 165 to 170,000. Yeah. My daily rewards are coming in, broadly speaking, the last time I checked, which was about last week, Sunday, broadly speaking, $1,000 equivalent a day. Yeah. Now, what that means for me is that on a monthly basis, this side business, yeah, is now generating me equivalent of $30,000 a day, a month, sorry, yeah, which is substantial, yeah. It actually has elevated this investment from being, you know, a fourth division investment in terms of my own portfolio of investments up into the Premiership, and now it's sort of in the top 2 in terms of the amount of money that it's generated. It's actually at that level, it surpasses my rental income, which was my number 2. Yeah. So the only place I'm now making more money from is the Pempamsi, group. Yeah. So the other thing that it's inspired me to do was to look closer at crypto. So I started my journey in terms of crypto in October. of last year, I set up my first crypto wallet, crypto.com. I invested £1,035 on day one, and I bought a range of coins, including XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I bought 4 or 5 coins, and I've been watching the way that my crypto wallet has performed since then. And I'm pleased to say that just before I joined this call, I checked the value of my crypto wallet. My crypto wallet now sits at 134,000 US dollars. Yeah. I own about 60 different coins, and I practically buy crypto every day, but I never spend more than about £250. Yeah. I think since I started this whole crypto journey, I've probably spent around about 30,000, yeah, 25,000. So what I've seen just by investing in crypto is the value. I've had some good coaching because I know a few people that invest in crypto, but I've seen the value of the coins that I've bought multiply by 5 times at least. So what that means for me is that when in my own mind I was asking the question, like, where's this money coming from? And I'm looking at the whole crypto market, and I can see that it's a bull market, it's a buoyant market. Yeah. And I genuinely believe that blockchain technology, the cryptocurrencies, will be our means of exchange. In 5 years' time, nobody will have, a pocket full of wedge. And I love pockets full of wedge, believe you. Yeah. So, but I'm excited. I'm really excited. And the thing that Brother Clayton said about having a conversation, I do business with a lot of individuals all over the globe. A lot of supply chain of my supply chain is in the UK. And I think what excites me is the opportunity for us to create a community where we can have reasonable conversations, serious conversations about putting together the type of money that can actually make a difference in our community.
Right.
If there are 20 of us or 30 of us that's earning, 100,000 a month, in no time at all, we can collaborate and really start to blaze a trail and establish a legacy within not just this country, but globally. Yeah. And, that is my main motivation for now, actually deciding that I'm going to spend more time promoting this opportunity, more time. I'm happy for anyone to look at my account. I've got absolutely nothing to hide. Yeah. I'm happy to discuss it with anyone. Yeah. And I put my reputation behind it. Yeah. Now, obviously I don't run the company, but from everything that I've seen, yeah, this is an absolute humdinger of an opportunity. And there's a couple of things that I always say, and I genuinely believe that the window of opportunity doesn't stay open forever.
Right.
And that there are 3 types of people. Ones that make things happen, ones that watch things happening, and ones that say, what happened? Yeah. Experienced that in the 80s and the 90s when I was buying properties, and I was trying to convince others to get into I bought properties at 27,000, 50,000, 60,000. And a lot of the people that I had around me at the time, and this was me as a young man, were saying to me, no, the property market's going to crash.
Right.
It's not going to make sense. Yeah. Now, I own millions of pounds of real estate. Most of it is mortgage free. Yeah. based on the decision, and it's changed my life. It's given me a 5-figure monthly income. Yeah. So I get up and come to work every day because I love it, not because I have to. I could stay in bed and I'd live very comfortably. Yeah. But there were so many of us that had opportunities in the 80s and the 90s. Yeah, you could have bought properties in South London for next to nothing. You could have got a mortgage without even having a job.
Right.
You didn't evidence anything. You didn't have to, show your bank accounts or wage slips. You could tell the mortgage broker that you earned 40,000 a year and they would sign it off. And we had the opportunity and we let that window pass.
Right.
Yeah. And I just hope that a lot of us don't allow this opportunity, to pass us. I definitely, for one, I'm not going to allow it to pass me. So that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for inviting me on. And I'm always here if ever anyone wants any feedback, any support, any information, whatever I can do to help, I'm here. So thank you once again. And I hand back to you, sir.
Thank you, Brother Basil. Let's give him another big round of applause. Special guest. Special guest. And I remember Chronix saying, no, he's not a special guest. He's a special best. So one of the things I wanted to correct you with, Basil, was when you said there are those who say, what happened? You missed the word. They say, what the hell happened?
Right.
Or a 4-letter word of choice. So I love it, because I was speaking to Clayton earlier today and I was saying, man, to be blessed to have yourself and him on the same line is indeed a blessing. Because I'm blessed to know you and the quality of the man who you introduced me to with Clayton, it shows when we introduce each other to people of substance, then the chain gets stronger. As opposed to weaker. And I've always maintained, Basil, on this platform, that I don't have anybody come on this platform who's not an exemplar of what they are advising others to get involved in. Now, the transparency that you typified today and Clayton is something we don't see in our community. And that's the reason why we haven't been successful up to this point. There's too much cloak and dagger. But transparency, it's got to be the order of the day. And it's got to be the way how we go forward. So again, I thank you for trailblazing and for showing all of those who are on this line, that we're not talking about things that we haven't achieved. And if we're talking about things that we have achieved, then it's just for those who are hearing this for the first time. What really, what you're saying, what really, again, typifies how important it is between the two extremes. Because if you don't have courage in business, if you don't have courage in life, you'll always be those on the sidelines waiting for someone, again, to give you something as opposed to going out and earning it. And I'll close and go to the questions with this. I had some friends, Basil, who was in Jamaica. They're on one of these falls, but these waterfalls, and it was quite high up. And everybody jumps down into the water. And there was 2 brothers, and they were scared to jump off. So they're sitting there trying to encourage each other. Make we jump now, make we jump now. And they saw 2 little English girls. The English girls came and looked over, jumped over. Brothers still sitting there. Then they saw 2 little Japanese girls come and say, look over and say, wah, 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 wah. And they jumped over. And this was about 10 years ago, Basil. And up to today, them brothers are still up there trying to build up the courage to jump and see what they've seen so many people come after them. And they were there first, and they're still standing up there now. And why they're still standing up there is because they don't have courage. They don't have courage. And your testimony is one of courage. Clayton's testimony is one of courage. Those who have trailblazed is a testimony of courage. And I remember being in a restaurant with one of my sons. And there was this little old Caucasian man who I knew was a very successful man, a multi-billionaire. And as he was sitting in this restaurant, Basil, he had hair. He had no hair in the middle. There was nothing here. It was just the hair around the side. You know that man there with just the hair around the side? And I said to my son, I said, son, where we just come from down in Brixton, they're no gangster there. Like, I said, that man there, he's the real gangster. That's what gangsters look like. Because them men are buying companies, brother, selling companies, taking over companies, and it takes courage to do what they're doing. And the way how we quantify courage in our community needs to be totally revamped. So thank you for being a trailblazer, and thank you for coming on this star lineup this evening and giving us an insight into the depth of what can be achieved where this opportunity is concerned. So for all of you who want to be a part of this, leave your details in the chat, send an email to the information in the chat. And we've got 3 questions that I can see, Sylvina, help me out. So I'm going to hand over to you because you know the sequence of these questions.
Okay, thank you, brother. So all those who are interested, there is a link in the chat where you can register your interest for free. So please do click the link and register your details. Then we'll have your details to get back to you, and we can have a follow-up session to get more of your intricate questions answered. One of the questions that we have is, does the membership end after a certain period, or are there opportunities for you to keep it running?
You know something? I don't even know nothing about the business, but I can actually answer that one myself. But I'm not gonna, because how can something keep going if your money's run out? Anyway, the professionals are on the line. So would anybody like to answer that question?
Yeah, I'll happily take that one. So I'll just do it visually. So this number you see here on the top left of your screens, hopefully I'm sharing that. Let me just double check that I'm sharing that.
Yeah,
yes,
you are.
Okay, beautiful. So this number here that you see on your screen represents what the company is due to pay you. So when this number goes to 0, that means that the company has fulfilled its financial obligation to you and your membership effectively comes to an end, right? So that's essentially what that means. Now, if you are able to and desire to, you can increase this number in 2 ways. You can either add fresh money to your membership, or before this number gets down to 0, you can do rebuys to essentially build that number back up. So for example, when I have members in the team who are drawing down for the first part of the month or the back end of the month, and then they go back and they build up again. So they draw down to pay their mortgage or their rent or cover their credit cards or whatever they're doing, and then they build back up again through rebuying. So they draw down and then they rebuy to build back up, draw down and rebuy to build back up. So their membership will never, this number here will never go to 0, because they're making sure that they keep it going by doing rebuys. So that's the way that you're able to do that. So it's either adding money to your membership to prevent this number from going to 0, or using rebuys to make sure this number doesn't get to 0. So hopefully that makes sense.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. A few people didn't hear what the minimum investment was.
Yeah, so the minimum that we allow in our team is 500. And then let me just share with you the reasons why, because it's always important to understand the reason why we do anything. So our team basically promotes abundance principles. And there is another principle which is called the time value of money. So in the natural order of things, there is a month, and the month is typically 30 days. So what we want individuals to experience is a 30-day opportunity to do a rebuy or to test the system with withdrawal, because we want people to know that this is real. If someone joins at the company's minimum of 300, the company allows this. I genuinely don't even speak. This number is a swear word to me. I'll be honest with you. It literally is a swear word to me. So we don't include it in our presentations, because you'll notice that there's no means of doing anything within a 30-day period. So if the company, if you listen to the company, no action in a month, to me, that's unacceptable. So what we say is 500 is the minimum. So you give yourself the opportunity to have an ability to test, if you want to test, or have an ability to experience what a rebuy is like. And then we say, okay, fine, the next best thing is the 2,000, because that is the best minimum, because you now have the ability to rebuy at least once a week. So if you can't do it, once a month, either once a week or preferably once a day. So that's the reason why we speak about the numbers we speak about. But 500 is the minimum allowed in this team, and 2,000 is the best minimum, but 10,000 is the magic number, because it's the number that allows you to rebuy or withdraw every day. But here's a message for everyone. Come in strong, but come in at a level that's going to allow you to sleep like a baby at night. Come in strong, but allow yourself to sleep like a baby at night, is really what we say.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Sister Silvina, there's 2 hands in above me here. Can you go to them too, please?
Yeah. Sure. Terhas, believe. Can you unmute yourself, please, and ask your question?
You're on mute.
Yeah, she can.
You can unmute her, please.
Unmute yourself. I have now.
Am I unmuted now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. First of all, I wanted to know the name of the speaker, and secondly, when you join your company, do you give training for people? Because you see, I would like to jump in immediately, but I have no idea on how to go about this. So when you joined in July or whenever you did you have any idea of what blockchain is, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and all that stuff?
No, when I joined, I was familiar with Forex. So I've always traded Forex. So, pound versus the yen, pound versus the dollar, euro dollar. And I had heard of Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I'd never paid them any attention, because I'll be honest with you, I just didn't understand what all the fuss was about. From a currency trading point of view, I wanted to be able to go back to a lot of history on my charts to make decisions. And I didn't have that level of history to be able to make those decisions when looking at Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's only when I joined this opportunity, and before I joined it, I'd done a deep dive into blockchain. So I downloaded papers from Ernst & Young, JP Morgan, Deloitte, other companies that were looking at blockchain, but in specific and different industries, as diverse as supply chain technology through to music. What were the applications of this thing called blockchain that's exciting everybody? So I didn't know about it before coming in. But on coming in, like I said before, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So I done a deep dive quickly. I congratulate myself for being a fast learner, because I've got this curiosity if I'm going to do something. And therefore, it was very apparent to me that the 2 words DeFi, the decentralization of finance, was what represented the greatest shift of wealth of our entire generation. My words, not something I saw in a book, but that's how I see it. It's the greatest shift of wealth, because my part of my background is telecommunications, and I saw the deregulation of telecommunications, and back then that represented one of the greatest shifts of wealth, moving money away from the monopolies to the new providers. So I see this as almost like deregulation repeated, but on steroids, because now we're talking about money, really. The deregulation of money. So I didn't decide to do a PhD in blockchain before taking action. I decided that I would take action, and I would learn whilst I was earning. But I decided I was going to learn fast and earn fast. That's what I decided to do. And so you don't have to be an expert. We provide training to our members in our group specifically. But outside of our group, there is a wider training that's done on cryptocurrency platforms and how you sign up and move money from, just deposit onto your account, take money off your account. What we do in our team on a Saturday morning is we slow everything down and we focus on the fundamentals so that individuals that are brand new to it are able to learn about the membership itself, the back office. So, when I show you this membership, we'll walk through each of these individual icons you see at the bottom of your screen very slowly. And then we'll walk you through the very important process of knowing how, when you are ready, that you basically are able to, transfer money out of your membership area to be able to eventually get it back into your bank account. So there is a lot of support that we provide to our team. We're very proud of the support that we provide to our team. And it's allowed us to move from position 0 in the UK to top 2, 3 in the UK within the period of time that we've been in for, let's just say, 260 odd days, and bypassed a lot of other individuals and teams that have been in it for 9 months before us. And I don't do that based upon competition, but just businesses benchmark. They look at their competition and they basically benchmark to see how are we doing. So that's what I do. I look at how we're doing in relation to others to give me some indication as to whether we are doing the right thing or not. And we are absolutely doing the right thing, which is focusing on abundance principles, how money works, and how individuals work with money. And so therefore you'll see on the screen, we've got the money call that we do and so on. So yes, there is a tremendous amount of support that we provide in our team. And Brother Akeem and I, we'll be having conversations around, how best to do it so that, we work together well. Let's just put it that way, because, you have your platform, we have our platform. And so how do we make sure that everyone gets taken care of that needs support and so on? So that's a conversation that Brother Akeem and I will be having in more detail.
Okay, what's your good name, please? And if I can have your email or telephone number or whatever for me to contact you.
Yeah, so you can put it in the group. Brother Akeem can put it in the group, no problems.
Okay.
Yeah, so my name is Clayton Ford.
How can I start the training?
So you can start as soon as you are a funded member. So we're pretty strict in our group. So once someone is a funded member, they can now start to enjoy our trainings. So as soon as you are a member, you are good to go.
So funded member.
If you go into Tehaz, if you go into the chat, the spiritual injection has a link there. If you follow that link, email us or give a phone call to the number, then we will give you all the information you need to get set up, and then we will link you with the training session that's going to take place on Saturday once you have gone through all of the membership process. So cut and paste the link in the chat and follow the steps accordingly, and then it will be arranged for you to be signed up. Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, he didn't tell me his name.
It's Mr. Ford, Clayton Ford.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Sabina, next question shares, and we're gonna have to close in 5 minutes, okay? So those of you who are interested, please go to the chat and cut and paste the link that's there. It's been put in there about 10 times, so you can't miss it. Go ahead, Shares. Take yourself off mute.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for an excellent presentation. And I'm interested. I've looked at the link. I just wanted to check that I understand fully what was being said. I understand the minimum is 500 and your perfect minimum is 2,000. But I just wanted to check my understanding. So if I was to invest 1,000 by the end of April, at 0.5%, I get back treble of $5 or £5 a day, which is £15 a day. And if I did that by 365, it's 5,000 something. Have I just got that basic understanding correct?
Clayton?
Oh, sorry, my bad. If you join at 1,000.
Yes, and at 0.5%, that's $5 or £5 a day.
Exactly.
But because it's April 3 times pay, it's £15 a day. Is that right? If you join before the end of April, you get your
Not
money.
quite. So what will be tripled is the value of your membership. So what happens is, if you join at 1,000, the company says, okay, we are going to triple that for you, and we will pay you 3,000, but you're going to receive that at the rate of 0.5% on the value of your membership. So 3,000 is what will be due to you, but you're going to receive the 0.5 on the 1,000 and not the 3,000. So you receive 5 a day until you've been paid 3,000.
And at 5 a day, can I reinvest at 50, or is it too minimum to be able to?
No. So so every time you see a green number here, so every time you have 50, so you'd wait 10 days. Once you have 50, you can do a rebuy. So you'll move from 1,000 in membership value to 1,050 in membership value the next day, and you would have increased your pending rewards from one value to another value.
Every 10 days?
Every 10 days, yes. Yes.
Okay. And then if I want, like your colleague said, I can come in under myself and increase my value as and when I want, as opposed to just 1,000. I may say I've got some more money, I'll add another 5 or another 3 or something. That's fine.
Absolutely.
As long as the money's with you, there's no tax. But when I draw it into my bank account, I have to pay tax.
Boom. You got it in one. I don't provide tax advice, but that's fairly clear.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. I've registered on that link, so I'll hear from you.
Brilliant stuff. Awesome. Congratulations.
Fantastic. So, Sister Sylvina, I think we're pretty much done now. We've got 2 minutes, unless there is something burning, because on Sunday we have a very special masterclass also with our great Sister Michelle, who is our blockchain and cryptocurrency master. Now, she's a master. So when it's called masterclass, that's no joke. You know, because on Sunday, she's going to show you how to read these coins that Basil spoke about and that Brother Clayton spoke about. She'll give you the A to Z on cryptocurrency. So that's this week, Sunday. So screenshot this and book your place because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. She's based in Houston, Texas, and she's doing this for spiritual injection as a favor, because of her love for what we're doing on such a broad platform. So Brother Clayton, thank you for everything. And to all of those who have been listening, that's on the 18th, sorry, the masterclass. So all of those of you who are present today, we want to thank you. We want to thank Brother Basil. We want to thank Brother Clayton. And I think, like, New York, Clayton, you know, New York is meant to be so sweet, they decided to name it twice, because to just hear it once, New York weren't enough. So they had to say New York, New York. So what I'm minded to do, Clayton, is I know you only scratched the surface of some of what, you know, you have to share. So maybe we can do a part 2 possibly next week.
Yeah, that's fine by me, man. I'm good to go. I'm good to go.
Those of you in the audience, would you like to hear some more of what you heard today, so that you can invite some of your friends and family and then come with your questions pre-prepared? Some of you who will already join up tonight, you know, you will be, if you get your membership in place within the next 24 hours or so, then you'll be afforded the privilege of being in one of Clayton's training sessions this week, Saturday. And I was blessed to be there last week, Saturday. And I'm telling you, he handles his business. That session was so magnificent. I really enjoyed it. And you'll also get an opportunity to possibly hear Basil links on Sunday also. So you'll have access to both of these brothers' training sessions and inspirational sessions once you fall under the membership that you're being offered today. Great opportunity. I'd love to hear more from you next week, Brother Basil, for part 2. So who would like a part 2 next week? Can I see your hands, please? Okay, let's do part 2 next week.
I'll be happy to, brother.
Yeah, free the hard way.
Absolutely, absolutely. Locked in.
We can't leave Sylvina out of it. For the hard way. In fact, we can't leave Jeff or Andrew out of it. So 7 the hard way. And with all of you, 108 the hard way. Yeah, so let's do this next week. Let's do it. This is a great opportunity. You just can't turn a page when something like this is on the page. You got to study before you turn it, because this is a big opportunity given. And the first time I heard it, I knew it. So let's see where it takes us next week. So again, big round of applause to Brother Basil, to Brother Clayton.
Thank you, Brother Basil. Thank you, Brother Clayton. Thank you, Christian Injection.
Thank you so much,
Thank you, Brother Clayton. Thank you,
everyone.
Brother.
Thank you, Brother Clayton.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
For the translators.
Thank you.
Con Benny avait conférence bien intéressant.
Sylvina?
Yes.